As C. Joy Bell C. once recited, I am not a little bit of many things, but I am the significant representation of many things. I am not an incompletion of all these races. I am a masterpiece of my prologue. God did not see it needful to make me generic. He thinks that I'm better than that. As many of you know, I did not grow up in Brewster. I moved up here in the smack middle of 7th grade. No, literally. I moved up here when you guys were transitioning from quarter 2 to quarter 3. In middle school, you changed your elective because you needed to have that credit. I know I was in the shock of my life when I had to walk into a tech ed class with the infamous Mr. Hora. I came into class late. Now that was strike 1. I was walking to my seat and had my hair down. Now that was strike 2. And the next thing I did will be so surprising because I bet you everyone has been in this room, at least maybe once. I did Mr. Hora's favorite thing. I chewed gum in his class. So I was in a really good spot when I first came in. Moving was really hard when I first started. I had a support system, family, and especially friends that I grew up with. Now, you don't have to raise your hand, but who here has felt like they've gone through difficult times in their school life? There are many ways that people can be affected in school. My type was bullying. Bullying can, affect many kinds of people. Of course, I got stuck with the cyberbullying kind, but regardless of the fact, I'm up here with all my strength talking to you. I was never a confident person. I struggled a lot with public speaking and branching out to new people and places. And I bet you can picture how it was when I moved up here. Different environments involve different types of communication. What does that mean? Well, as if I needed to change in order to be... Hold on. Let's restart that. What does that mean? Well, I felt as if I needed to change in order to be like my peers wherever I went. Regardless of wherever you go, bullying is still around. I'm here to talk to you about the effects it has on a person and how it can affect them evolving into someone they've dreamed of being. And trust me, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to stand here in this red circle and talk about, oh, well, cyberbullying is bad and everybody knows it, and, oh, people only cyberbully people because they just insecure themselves. Everybody knows that statement. Everybody is tired of that statement. I hate that statement. It's so bad. It's so overused. It's not fun. As a mixed kid, I never felt like I belonged to a certain group. I was always either too white for the Hispanics or too Hispanics for the whites. Yes, this is little me in 5th grade in front of my old house. Oh God. By looking at this picture, can you tell that this little girl went to bed every night sobbing because no one cared enough to notice the warning signs? In the article, Multiracial Children by the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry provides information and guidance for parents of multiracial children. The article states, however, despite some changes in laws and evolving social attitudes, multiracial children still face significant challenges. People are not stressing the challenges that these children face, such as discrimination and feeling disconnected from their racial or cultural identities. As better stated in recognizing and addressing colorism in schools, it suggests that for them to learn about their different cultures and connecting them with supportive communities. But how can we provide them with the support what they need when we don't even know where to look for in the first place? Colorism refers to the discrimination or preferential treatment based on skin color. The district, as well as administration, should educate themselves and students about the history and impact of colorism to promote positive representation of diverse skin tones and create more inclusive and equitable school environments. This is Cassandra Santiago, but she goes by Cassie. You may be wondering who this is and why she's relevant in my talk today. Well, to make a long story short, she's my cousin. She unfortunately had to go through the same things I did, but a lot worse. Cassie and I attended PS 108 in elementary school. That's the wrong way. Oh, oopsies. This is PS 108. She, before moving up to our middle school, PS 83, which is on the left-hand side. When asked about how her experience was at PS 108, she stated, "Before going to PS 108, I was originally in another school, so it was a big change for me with going to another school and living in a new place. My experience was great, and I definitely enjoyed the memories I made within that school. It was hard at first for me because I was scared to make new friends since my old friends were at my old school, so I was shy at first. But then I became very social and I just cared about everyone. I really liked having friends and I really liked the teachers because they were really there for me, supporting me through the rest of my elementary school years." Then I asked her if anything brain altering happened in grades 6 to 8. She said, "Entering my middle school in 6th grade, that was when a lot of unfamiliar emotions happened. I was cyberbullied by my own best friend at the time, and it kind of made me negative and hate myself a lot because of what she had posted of me. She told me to kill myself and go back to where I came from, which was not the place I actually was born in. She basically just hated me overall and posted pictures of us when we were friends at the time, scribbling on my face and saying vulgar words on Snapchat and Instagram that I cannot talk about in this talk today. It was really, really bad. I was so afraid that that's what happened to me again. Throughout those years, without having social media in middle school, when everybody was on social media, it was frightening because I would continue to think about what happened to me in 6th grade. Honestly, I'm glad that I was able to get it in my sophomore year, but it made me jealous because I wasn't like the other kids my age. I dealt with a lot of body image struggles. I felt ugly and I shaved a lot because of what happened to me, making it seem like it was my fault for being bullied. This can relate to an article I discovered once expressing the psychological advantages of being biracial or multiracial. It suggests that having parents of different races and growing up with exposure to multiple cultures can lead to a more complex understanding of identity and greater flexibility in adapting to different social situations. Now back to my cousin's story. It was a hard process to erase what happened to me because I've never experienced that in my life, and people in my school and staff were always told me during that process to forget this girl. And I felt like I was practically forced to forget this girl, who was my friend at the time, but I felt like what she did was okay. It cost me towards the end of my middle school years because I continued to be her friend, all the way to middle school in my 8th grade year. I finally had enough and ended this toxic cycle once and for all. I felt like I was finally free from her because I honestly didn't need that type of friendship, especially the one she gave me towards the very end. But honestly, so people at her school from now, this is present day, freshman year, there's people at her school telling her that, hey, the same girl, she feels really bad, and she was like really upset that she said this to you, and she's sorry. But my cousin was like, no, that's not right. That doesn't seem right. If you were really sorry, you would have come up to me and told me right away. So she didn't believe her at all. Lastly, I asked how has this experience shaped her ability to grow and mature throughout her time at school. She stated, I would say that this experience of being cyberbullied made me have thicker skin, not let everyone all over me. And I became mature quicker for people my own age, and I also learned not to hold on to somebody that doesn't want you to be there to support you. So, why am I standing up here spewing all of this information at you like I am some Britannica and glossary just to say, hey, be nice to people who are mixed? I'm up here talking about this because many kids are afraid to talk about what they've gone through and talk about what they have. They need someone like that has that voice to talk and stand up for them and to go on their own ways and to help them journey through this. Just because you are mixed of multiple different cultures, like for example me, I'm Ecuadorian and Italian, just because I'm mixed of different cultures doesn't mean that I'm weird, I'm this, I'm that. And everybody is equally as good, if not better, no matter what you do. I'll leave you with a quote from my cousin. Your friends should always be there to support you no matter what, and should never degrade you in any type of way because those aren't your real friends if you do. Thank you.